This is a Nissan GT-R, a car that's kind of stuck between a sports car and a supercar. The GT-R is brutally fast, has supercar characteristics, handles well, and shocks all of its crazy performance. But does it have what it takes to be a supercar?
Hello, this is a 2015 Nissan GT-R, and today what I'm going to try to find out, is this a true budget supercar? Let's find out. The GT-R has a long heritage with plenty of fantastic cars in it, and this is of course the latest model. Now, the GT-R was astonishingly fast when it came out, and now it's starting to look a little bit more slow compared to some of the newer competitors that have come out in the past recent years. So basically, let's see if the GT-R is still a fantastic car, and can it compete with supercars like the Audi R8 and the Acura NSX that have recently come out in the past couple years. Taking a look at the front of the GT-R, the front end hasn't changed very much since its original release. It added these cool LED daytime running lights down here, but you still have the same GT-R fascia. So it's kind of the start of all the Nissan products with them doing that V-grille system. So, and moving over here, you have these headlights. So they're projector halogens, and there's actually 3 bulbs across here, and then your turn signals up top here. And you have this cool piece of plastic here that looks kind of like carbon fiber. And then you have this low down lip here in the same color as this. It's kind of a gray, dark graphite type color. Moving up to, of course, the top of the hood here. These are signature GT-R pieces, and there are these hood scoops, and the air goes through them and into the engine through there. There's 2, one on each side. And it's a very nice front. It's clearly GT-R when you come up. Any of the GT-Rs, the newer GT-Rs at least, you'll notice this is automatically a GT-R. It's can't be any other type of car. From the rear, the R35 GT-R basically follows the same route as the R34, these dual taillight designs, and so you have basically your light around here on both sides, and then your reverse light in the center on this one, and then your turn signal on this one here, and you have this nice wing. So simply to open the car, you have to push your finger underneath here where the license plate is, and you can simply pull up on the trunk, like so. Moving over down here now, we have these dual exhausts, which I guess would be quad exhausts, but 2 on each side, and this carbon fiber diffuser down here at the bottom here. That's really cool, and it's an all very cohesive design, and it really suits the car well. Now, the main reason that people buy GT-Rs is probably because of this engine, and it's a fantastic engine. So basically how the GT-R engine works is it's made in a basically sealed factory, so no dust can get to the engine, and it's made by one of a couple GT-R crafters. So this one, for example, was made by Igumi Shiaya, so thank you for that. And this is basically a 3.5 liter twin turbocharged V6, and it makes 545 horsepower at 6,400 RPM. And the RPM is so high, of course, because when those turbochargers kick in, that's when the real power is low. And this car shocks people with its acceleration, so it does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Definitely keep up with its competitors like the Audi R8, the Acura NSX, and the Porsche 911. The GT-R has a quite unique shape to it, and that's mainly because of the engine and the all-wheel drive system. The engine needs to push much higher, which means the whole front nose of the car is quite high compared to some of the other supercars that have much lower hoods and their engines in the back. So moving over here, this car has of course Michelin Pilot Super Sports on it with these nice Vorsteiner wheels here that suit the car, and from stock you still get very nice wheels with good high performance tires. So moving over here, we have this nice air basically outtake, and the air I guess goes through the wheel well, and it goes out through here and down the side of the car. And then moving over here down to the side profile, there's these door handles. So these door handles basically a little bit complicated to use at the start. Basically you just push in on one side and then you grab, and then you can open the car up with this door handle. And simple to use, and every time that you open or close the door, the window will otherwise go down or up depending on if you open or close it, and that forms a nice seal, and that gives you of course a nice pillarless top on the window here. It's just glass by itself, which is a very cool look. And then when you close the door, the window comes up and makes a nice seal with the rest of the car. Moving over towards the back, you still have the same wheel here, and this one line that follows all the way from the front of the car all the way up to the back and over top the rear wheel well. And then moving to the back here, we have this spoiler that really just gives the GT-R its look, and it follows lots of other GT-Rs. If you look at GT-Rs in the past, they all have this wing at the back, and you can clearly tell from the side profile that it's a GT-R no matter what. Stepping up to the GT-R, you have this smart key system that Nissan puts in every car, and it's a little bit of a pretty boring key, and it's in basically every single other Nissan product. So you have your GT-R emblem up here, which is the really only difference between this and a normal Nissan. So you have your lock, your unlock, and then this is open the trunk, and then this is to sound the alarm. It's a nice key, and there's nothing wrong with it. It just seems a little bit cheap compared to how much this car costs. So it's a smart key system, so all you have to do is put the key in your pocket to get in. There's push that button there to unlock it, and then push in on this side of the door handle, and then pull out on this one here, and you can simply open the door like that, and now you're in. So we're immediately greeted with this really nice cream colored leather through here, and lots of carbon fiber on the center dash and down here too, and the interior is very nice, and it really suits GT-R well. Taking a look now inside the GT-R, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake and push the button that's down here in the center console to start it. And then you're greeted with that amazing noise of that twin turbocharged V6 underneath the hood. For the review, let's just turn it off. Now we're inside. So let's take an overall look at the interior. So immediately stepping into the interior, you're greeted with this very nice cream colored leather. It's very nice. It's a little bit slippery, but these bolsters do hold you in very well, which makes it feel a lot more sporty. Now taking a look towards the center console. So the center console in the GT-R, this is still the original one, and they come out with a little bit of a better system in the most recent version, the 2017 GT-R. So you have your screen up top here, and you can change it if you're looking for performance. You can change it using this here, so you can search through all different performance modes. There's 5 different layouts, and then there's a final gauge for track use, and it's a stopwatch, so you can track your time going around tracks, and you can see your speed and the minutes going around, and then move through all the menus here. So different layouts that show different things like boost, engine oil temperature. We have another one here that's laid out a little bit differently with different things on the side, and they're all different, but they all basically show you performance related things that the car is doing. Moving down here now, we have the radio controls, so you can actually go through here and control your radio through the screen here, and use it through the screen, and you can do all your controls here. So you have your presets, your volume, you turn on and off, and then your tuning knob here, and all the buttons for AM, FM, satellite. You're using a CD as well, and then also going through here, there's also the navigation screen. So the navigation's a little bit older. It wouldn't be really what you would find in most cars nowadays, but back when this car came out, this was a surprisingly good system back then, and it's still a good system. The graphics aren't the best, and it's surprisingly easy to use still. You can go in here and you can configure all of your routes and things like that, and put it in your route here, depending on where you want to go. And then you also have your phones and your settings for the car, so you can go through here and change different settings through the touchscreen. Moving down here now, we have the climate controls. So it's a dual zone climate control, so you have your knob on each side for who it is, so it's the left or the right, and then you have the air the knob for how much air you want to come out here, and then all the buttons for air conditioning and where you want the air to come out on the sides here. Moving down here, you have all your controls for the sportiness of the car, so you can basically change otherwise the driving, the suspension, and the controls for the grip. So you can put it all into R mode, which is kind of like the racing mode, or you can switch it down to comfort, or you can turn the traction control off through here, and that'll control all your different modes. Moving down here, you have a CD player, and there's lots of this carbon fiber trim that goes around the CD player and all around this area here. And then moving down here, you have your shift knob for the 6-speed automated manual transmission, and through here, so you have park, reverse, neutral back here, and then automatic, and then you can switch it over to manual mode, which means you can use these paddle shifters on the steering wheel. And then moving down here, you have, of course, a start-stop button, which I went over before. It's in the center console here, and then your parking brake. And if you slide through here, you have your 2 cup holders, and you can hide them away with this little covering here. And then look through here, there's a center console that really has very minimal space to put anything in, but there's still a little bit of space there. Moving over to here, through this menu here, when you go into functions, so when you push this button here, it'll bring you back into those sporty modes I was talking about, and you can see different dials and gauges through this function button, and then you can, of course, control the brightness through here, and there's some other buttons for the vehicle. Moving over towards the gauge cluster, so it's all carbon fiber within the gauges. On the left, you have your speed, and the speedo goes up to 340 kilometers an hour or 200 miles an hour, and then you have your tachometer, and it'll go up to 8,000 RPM, red line's 7,000, and then you have a little tiny digital display next to it which has which gear you're in, so when it's in park it'll say P, and depending on which gear you're in, it'll switch to that, and when you're actually in the driving modes, that will display what gear you're in, so if you're in first gear, second gear, and all that. And then you have your temperature for your oil on the right there, your fuel gauge is next to that, and then you have all of your warning lights on the side there, and then in the center you have some different displays that are telling you what to do to start up the car and the car's mileage. And then moving over to the steering wheel here, like I said, you have your paddle shifters, you have your 2 stalks, your wiper stalk and your trim setting stalk on the left here, and these paddles are very nice to use. They're nice and leather padded on the back here, and then there's this nice metal trim on the front here, and they feel very nice and solid to use. And then you have this nice steering wheel here. It's not a flat bottom, but you have this nice grippy leather here to hold on to when you're driving. And then on the steering wheel, you have your phone buttons, your controls for your radio, and then your cruise control buttons on the left or on the right here, I guess, in the steering wheels. Face the other way. Moving over to these air vents, it's very similar to the air vents actually in the Honda Insider review, and you can kind of move them around, twist them around, and then when you want them closed, you can just close them like that. Pretty simple to use. Moving over to the left here, we have your window controls and your lock controls that are located up high here, and to get out of the car, there's actually a door handle on the door here, and you simply just lift it up and you open the door like that. Have your mirror controls on the left here, and trunk and hood release over there. Moving over towards the quality side of the car, so up here it's nice soft-touch plastic, and then you have tons of leather on the door here, and I think this is a really nice interior to get. I love the cream leather, it just makes a lot of sense, and you have all over the door here, all down the armrest, and then even the handle here. You hold on to, it's nice and leather padded. The steering wheel has more leather, the shifter has the same leather as well, and the parking brake also has that too. And then it's all over the center console and up here on the dash, which adds for a lot of good quality. Up here, it's still a soft touch plastic, and it's really what you expect from a car at this price bracket, as well as there's lots of nice leather up here. And then it's all leather up here down the side. And this car is just full of nice leather, and it's a really nice quality-wise car. And there's lots of plaques everywhere, like this Bose stereo system, which sounds really good. And overall, the interior is very good. Now I'm going to attempt to climb into those rear seats back there. Now here's probably the best part of owning a GT-R. Competitors like the RR8 and the NSX don't offer rear seats, and even the Porsche 911 offers rear seats, but they're not very big, and it's really hard to fit people in. But these seats here are actually surprisingly roomy, so let me try to get in. So all you have to do to get into the back of a GT-R is simply pull up on this side slider piece here, fold the seat over, and then you have to use the power controls to slowly move the seat forward all the way to the front until you can get in. Okay, now we're going to attempt to get in. So now I'm in the rear seats. Now all I have to do to put it back is move the seat back. Now that we've pulled back the seat, so this is at a good position. Now it's probably much easier if you have someone helping you get back in, of course a driver. So where I have it right now, there's basically no foot space. The back part of the seat here is really cutting off my foot space, and my leg room is good. Headroom when I lean back is pretty good. My head goes into the rear window there, so there's a little bit of extra head space. And this isn't particularly that great for long distance, but if you're just showing someone the car, this is a great car to be able to put all your friends in and bring them around and really show them the car. And it's nice and comfortable here. The leather's good, and the sides here, it is hard touch plastic, but it's surprisingly smooth and comfortable to lean up against. And you have a single cup holder back here, and then you have a massive Bose speaker right in the middle of the two rear seats. Let me attempt now to get out. So stepping up now to the rear of GT-R, let's take a little bit of a look at practicality. So all you have to do simply is you can put your finger down here, and there's a button, and you actually push up on it and open the trunk like that. Or you can use the key. All you have to do is push the button on it and hold it, and the trunk will open up like that. And there's also another release inside the car. So now taking a look, so the GT-R's trunk opens up, and it basically just opens the top part. It doesn't open the bottom part like a normal sedan would. And moving into the trunk, it's really deep, so you can fit something that's quite tall in the back here. Not so much side to side or front to back, but you could fit a decent sized suitcase in here, or groceries or something. And this is what makes the GT-R so much more practical than some of its mid-engine or rear-engine competitors, which of course is this huge trunk here you can put lots of stuff in. So guys, that's the 2015 GT-R. Now it's time to take it out for a ride. Of this review, I really wanted to take some time to think about it, to really find out and think about what the GT-R really was. So the GT-R to me is an extremely fast car, but I think Nissan has let it kind of fall out a little bit, and there are so many better and newer cars that have come out recently. I'm talking mainly about the Porsche 911 and the Acura NSX, which are excellent supercars, and however they are a little bit more expensive, some of them are, I think they're a little bit more worth it than the GT-R. The GT-R is quite a practical car, and I think it could be a car that you could have just a GT-R, versus the others you'd probably want to have a second car as well. But I think I would probably trade off and pay the extra and get maybe a 911, maybe an AMG GT, or maybe the Acura NSX or Audi R8, because I think they are better supercars. Anyway, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it, and I hope to see you next time.